I'm Renee, and I'm with her.
And I'm Amy, and she's with me. Welcome to our show, where we invite you to come sit on our couch.
So sit down, relax, and let's chat. Oh my. Welcome everybody to our show, but wow, what a morning. I can put something to rest, Amy. Do you want to know what it is?
Okay.
So if there's any question or any doubt that it's easier to get ready in male form or female form when you're late, I got the answer for you. What do you think it is?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody out there listening, all the males out there, please be nicer to your female companions and your wives and girlfriends. To be late and then to get ready to go, give her some time, because it's so much easier than just throwing on a hat, maybe some deodorant, brush your teeth, throw on a shirt from before.
Maybe the guys brush their teeth.
The shorts you always wear all week or something. No way. I can tell you right now, as a transgender woman, that one we could put to bed.
It's woman, period. Like,
so,
we have so much more to do.
Oh, my. So what happened? We were late, right? And we
Yes.
love being late, correct?
Oh, we both love being late. That's sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah, we hate it.
That's one of the things.
It's all a thing.
Yeah, some of our arguments have been over this very
Oh, my,
topic.
especially going to the airport.
Oh,
I have my ways of wanting to be there, and you have yours and all that stuff we've talked about, and wow, it sure kind of becomes fireworks right before we get on. But anyway, yeah, putting it to rest. Way harder for females to get ready, like spot on, quickly. So let's just give a moment for all the women out there. Breathe a little bit. I get you. I'm validating you. I love you so much.
Yeah. This
We're
morning,
here.
we're here. We're in the studio. We made it here. Luckily, we have a very patient producer.
Oh, wonderful producer. And just, oh, wow, though. That was crazy. When you told me, oh, we're so late.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I thought it was like 2 hours from now.
Yeah, we thought we had all the time in the world this morning.
And we were doing so good.
We thought we were
Had
good,
coffee
but we were
together.
not. We were not.
Talking.
We were so not.
Okay, Amy, what was the question you asked me in the car as I was speeding to get here? You asked me something and it kind of stumped me. I had to think about it.
Yeah, so I wanted to know what your stupidest argument you've ever had with a partner, or your spouse or girlfriend, whatever. You haven't had a boyfriend?
No.
Nope. So stupidest, like the one that you go like, why were we even fighting over that? This is so ridiculous. What's the dumbest argument you've ever had?
Well, I thought about it for a little bit, and here's the thing, and usually I can tell you most of the arguments I've been in were started with a stupid thing, and it usually was the vehicle to let out what I had upset about, and I didn't say it before because I'm pretty passive, very submissive. So it usually started with probably, I don't know, it could be anything from the way the dishwasher was stacked to the controllers not being found to all these weird ways to who drank the milk. I don't know. But I do remember one with you and I.
Uh-oh.
And this one
I was hoping it was with somebody else.
This one kind of takes the cake. And it's one of the most interesting. Now, something about Amy and I is we're actually super competitive. And yeah, so it's a thing. We have to kind of be right sometimes. So I've learned that passage where it's not about being right, it's about being happy.
God.
But anyway, so there was this one time when we first got together. Now, I was born and raised in Oregon City, and I really understood the town. And so don't even try to interrupt us and try to go spoiler alert. So I've known the town for a long time, and I was a kid that kind of just got on my bike and explored and didn't want to be home. And I'll get into that later in our shows. But anyway, so my time was out there on loving Oregon City and enjoying it. So I don't know how this even got to this point, but Amy was trying to tell me that the schools that I went to, that one of the schools was never a junior high. And I'm like, no, you're not right about this. Anyway, so I was trying to I was trying to delicately explain to her that I'm 100% going to win this bet if we're going to bet something. And so it's made up of so many elementary schools. I think at the time 6 or 7. That's I don't know for sure. So we're not going there on a bet.
That's a high number, by the way.
I'm pretty sure I can name some of them.
We don't need to argue about that right now.
But there was 3 junior highs for the longest time in Oregon City, and I can name them. It was Ogden Junior High, which I attended. There was Moss Junior High, and there was Gardner Junior High. There was 3 of them. And the reason I know that is because I was the only class back in graduated in 94, so whatever class. We were the first class that they made the Moss campus, one of the junior highs, into an all 9th grade campus. So all 3 junior highs came together. The other reason I knew this is because I got my butt kicked in football by the other 2 junior highs as playing quarterback for Ogden. So anyway, I'm trying to explain this to her, and she's like, no, you're wrong. Are you kidding me right now? I probably didn't use that word, but I'm like, there's no way I'm.
No, we can't use the words we were using at the
There's
time.
no way I'm. This is like, you're not going to, this is crazy. And so she wouldn't let it go. So we kept going back and forth. And now, by the way, Moss Junior High at one time, 9th grade school for I think 1 or 2 years, is now the Oregon City High School campus. Okay, let's put that one to an understanding. But what that did to us was, wow, the claws came out and, all this stuff. And this whole thing was...
Okay, well, to be fair, like that argument was very early on in our relationship.
Yeah.
When we were just
You said
friends.
girlfriend. You said anything.
And I am not going to admit entirely that I was wrong. Even
Is this
still.
ever? Hold on, I need to write this down because that was okay.
Because,
what? I need to rewind that.
Because even still, we could deep dive into this, but we don't need to today. But I'm going to just say we're both right.
You know what, everyone? I'm going to take that and concede and just say it's not about being right. It's about being happy. And okay, so it's a tie.
So the reason why I wanted to talk about this a little bit today is like conflict resolution. How do you find some common ground when you are in the heat of the moment in relationships? How do you find some way, even if you agree to disagree, even if you are, feel you're still so right when maybe you're not entirely right, you might be a little bit wrong.
Well, we had a good example a few weeks ago that was given to us about a situation that happened to someone else.
Yes. And it was right here in the studio, and it has really made an impact on us. So we're going to be back in our next segment after this short break. And we're going to talk about that situation because it was profound for us. You are listening to KXRW, Vancouver, and we'll be right back.
Perfect.
If you search for tenderness, it isn't hard to find. You can have the love you need to live. But if you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind. It always seems to be so hard to give.
Are you looking for junk removal from a full-service, local, friendly company that recycles or donates whenever possible? On Point Removal Services trucks are 25% bigger than the average junk removal truck and are fully licensed and insured. Call or text 360-728-0093 for a free instant quote. That's 360-728-0093. Or go to onpoint-removal.com for more info. On Point Removal Services. Removing junk on point.
Someone to say they sympathize if I wear my heart out.
KXRW programming like this is made possible with the support of the Columbian, proud to be Southwest Washington's leading news source. Since 1920, the Campbell family has owned and operated the Columbian and ensured its award-winning news coverage. For the most thorough daily coverage of local news, national news, and local sports, both in print and online, and for subscription information, visit Columbian.com. That's COLUMBIAN.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Amy and Renee on KXRW Vancouver. So yeah, you mentioned the story that we it's hit home with us, or we kind of took a situation and we were just watching it together, going like unfolding.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting as we saw it. It actually happened in studio, like you said, and it was from our producer Steve, which we're going to introduce and bring on here as a guest and kind of specifically talk about this. What that did to us as we watched this. We both couldn't really talk about it, but when we got in the car, wow, our conversation and that impact really let us keep going back to that moment of watching a relationship and what had happened in a situation that was very, one of those things that, how are you going to handle it? But we've always kind of gone back to that reference, and later I'll tell you what that reference is so we can remind each other what that is. So if,
Yeah. We've been using the term that was used in that moment because it was so profound to us to see a relationship and a really difficult conversation or difficult situation, a little bit of a crisis situation, and how it was handled, because so many of us, these are the situations in our life where they impact us and then create, let's call it baggage, that then flows into other relationships and in our future situations that we go into. For instance, I'm going to say one other situation that I was thinking of. I asked you about, one of your argument or worst argument or silliest argument. And that was this very silly argument we had. And we kind of had tongue in cheek through the whole thing, but we weren't legit mad at each other. But I'll bring up a situation that we were in where we were in Las Vegas. We'd rented a car and we were driving. We were going to see some friends or something. And I don't remember where we were going, but we were driving and you missed the exit. And all of a sudden you went into full on anxiety. You were apologizing to me. You were, clearly upset. And I was like, what's going on here? Okay, so you missed the exit. Take the next one, turn around, let's go back. But because of a past experience you had, where someone got very upset with you, angry, it turned into a full-blown argument and things were said and damage was done, you carried that into our relationship and you carried that into our situation. And I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. What is the big deal? That's not who I am. So that's kind of what I want. That's how why this situation in the studio this last time we were here impacted, I think, you and I both so much. So I want to introduce Steve, our producer.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Steve, we're so glad you're joining us today because the last time we were here and what we've been talking about, this scenario that happened that impacted Renee and I so much in such a healthy way. Yeah. We want you to tell a little bit about what happened when we were here because it's your story to tell, and then we'll go on from here. But please tell us kind of a little bit that story so that we can. It's so important.
So we were recording, and I got a call from my wife, and she was down in the Bay Area with a friend of hers, and they were going to the airport. And on the way to the airport, they stopped to get something to eat. And when they came out, their car window had been smashed, and all their stuff had been stolen. So she was really upset, and I was in the middle of a show, recording. I mean, I'm doing something, which is worst case scenario. It's like it's likely to put me at my worst. But I thought, wow, this is someone that I care about, and they've had this problem. So I have to show up for them. So we stopped for a second recording, and I just was like, hey, what happened? And, she was, she's blaming herself a little bit. And I was like, hey, someone broke your window. Somebody's a criminal. They're the criminal. You're a victim. I want you to be okay. See if you can, get the stuff or whatever. And that was how I handled it, which isn't always how I handled stuff like this. I mean, it really could be like give and day. There's something you have to work on all the time because it intersects a lot of things, like women tell men they have a problem, men try to solve it. She needed an ear, so I knew that. And then she also didn't need to be blamed. We could worry about how to avoid crime in the future, but also criminals change their behavior. So again, it's like criminals are criminals. They're the ones who are doing stuff wrong. And look, I mean, the car was locked. She was reasonable. She did reasonable things. So that was where I came to that. And, you were mentioning before about worst worst argument you'd ever been in. And I was in college. I was early on in my relationship with the woman who turned out to be later became my wife, now my ex-wife. And she bought the same boots that I had because she had grown up in Hawaii and she didn't have cold weather gear. And she was like, I bought the same boots as you. Are you mad about it? And I was like, I don't know. Something clicked in my brain and I got mad about it. And so we argued about how she bought the same boots as me, which is literally like the stupidest argument you could have. And even though I got better over time, I mean, this is really kind of, it was like, spoiler alert, this isn't going to go well. If this, it's not going to get far enough away from that spot. If you want to end up divorced, if you want to end up ruining your relationships, criticize people for being victims. Don't listen to them. Don't support them. So I've learned some lessons. I'm trying all the time to be good at this because it's so easy to be bad at it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One of the things that it stuck out to me, and I don't know if I told you this, Renee, but like when you said, 20, I don't know if it was 20 years ago or whatever, when you said, in my past relationship, I would not have handled this the same way. You've grown through it. You've learned a lot. And so you handled this situation because of your past experiences, because you've grown and you've evolved and you're a better person now. And that really stuck out to me.
I think what first of all I want to say, I want to bring it back to Steve on this is, and I hope every guy is listening, or anybody, any relationship, but that was a great example for men in particular to listen to their wives or girlfriends, their significant others, in a sense of just how different we operate as far as like woman brain, man brain. And that was a great moment where it's not about fixing a nail. It's another thing that we've listened to. But the bottom line is Steve really stepped up there, or just didn't step up there, however you want to say it, and just breathe through a crisis situation. Like Steve just admitted, it was not a good timing. So Steve was on tilt with the whole thing. And then to hear there's nothing to do about it, she's miles away, she can't fix anything, or he can't fix anything for her. But
and he didn't need to.
He was just there.
He didn't need to. He didn't need to fix
the problem.
She needed support. She needed to know she did not break the window. It was not her fault that the window got broken. There were also there were bystanders that did nothing.
She didn't break the window.
But the ultimate thing was she didn't break the window. And
someone
so we've been
else
using
did.
that term so
Yes.
much in our relationship lately when we catch ourselves getting upset. Who broke the window?
And there's I have another take on this too that I'd like to talk about in the next segment, but and we'll get to it. You're listening to Amy and Renee on
KXRW. We'll be right back.
I can't believe all of the things they say about me. Walk in the room, they throwing shade left to right. They be like, ooh, she's serving face. And I just tell them, cut me up and get down. They call us dirty 'cause we break all your rules down. And we just came to act a fool, is that alright? Girl, that's alright. They be like, ooh, let them eat cake. But we eat wings and throw them bones on the ground. Am I a freak? Am I more than a freak? Sit round, quit. Am I a freak? Don't forget to sit down. I cut teeth up, don't cut me down. Yeah, I wanna be.
The 20th Annual Vancouver Peace and Justice Fair is coming up September 9th from 9 to 4 p.m. at Ethler Short Park, located in downtown Vancouver. The fair will showcase the hard work and creative spirit of individuals, social justice groups, peace organizations, faith communities, performers, artists, businesses, and environmental activists who are making the world a better place. There will be many new activities, exhibitors, and sponsors, as well as returning favorites. More information and volunteer opportunities are available at vancouverpeaceandjusticefair.org.
Am I a sinner with my skirt on the ground? Am I a freak? Boy, then am I a freak? Am I a freak? Forget, teach down. I cut teeth up, don't cut me down. Judge me now. Yeah, I wanna be. Hey brother, can you save my soul from the devil? Say, is it weird to
Welcome back. You're listening to Amy and Renee on KXRW, Vancouver. Okay, so what I want to, you kind of brought up a story in Vegas when I was driving down the road. You didn't even know this about me. You know, I've been in several relationships, and you know how many I've been in. Yeah, it's fifth marriage. Yep, you heard it right. That's not edited. But anyway, I've learned a lot through relationships, and I can say that I'm not the best at it, but I'm learning. And I've been through 12 years of therapy. And I've learned a lot about myself. So an interesting thing that you brought up there as far as like driving down the road and I miss an exit, and you do blame that on relationships. A lot of that's been embedded to me on scars and things, and yes, past trauma, I guess you want to call it, that makes me literally break out in a sweat and nerves. And Steve said this earlier, is normally, when you hear news of crisis stuff, you go to automatic pilot, which is our subconscious thinking, where you go to this reactive kind of state of mind, and then you go off of, oh my God, Amy's going to be mad and I missed the exit. You look at that on the conscious level, but really you're battling yourself in your own head. And I do feel like we do that in our relationships and not know we do. And so the baggage we bring in and how we do that and how we then proceed, you really have to take a moment, if you're having your feels going on or what's really going on, is to really kind of take a moment. You do really good at this, where you just got to kind of like breathe, not react. You need to really resonate and process. And then you're able to kind of, who broke the window? You know, who really is the one that broke the window and who has had to deal with the window broken. And then I think that solves a lot of heartache and problems in a relationship. And wow, it's hard. And you know, so it's a work in progress every day.
Right. And I think there's two types of people. There's people who, like, that I think our biggest dynamic in our relationship, and I think for a lot of people, there's usually one person that wants to deal with it like right now and wants to address the situation. You're kind of one of those people who like want instant results.
Well, I don't want
right
chaos.
So you know, you want to deal with it right now. And one of my phrases that I use, and you don't like it at all, is I need a minute.
I hate it. Oh,
I need a minute.
It is such.
I
it
need
takes
a minute.
me places. You want to talk about? You know, it takes me places like, oh wow, that's just like
because you're just like, let's fix this
she's
right
leaving,
now. Like,
she's gonna abandon.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we've just opened up a huge thing.
Right there is like a huge thing, and I think like the biggest thing is if you can talk about it though.
Yeah.
If you can like have the conversation, saying, okay, in those moments, yeah, I know you need to talk about it right now, but like, if you can go, okay, who broke the window here? And then you go, okay, so now give me a second, because I might have been that that person watching it happen. Maybe you got hurt by someone else and you're hurting, and I'm trying to console you or be your support. Or you could be, and this is where we've broken this whole, you had no idea, Steve, what you and your wife did for us. But literally, like, you could be that person that watching, or you could be the person that it happened to, the victim. Or you could be the person on the other end of the phone hearing about it, the one that loves you the most. And, you know, in those situations where you and I have had conflict or had a situation, it's interesting how we both deal with it in a different way. You want to talk about it right now. You want to hash it out. You want to express and all of that. I want to take a minute. I want to evaluate my emotions.
Because she's going to cuss at me if she doesn't.
Because if I respond right then and there,
it's going to get heated.
It's not going to be good. My personality is very aggressive that way. I have far more testosterone than Renee has.
Yeah, it's proven. It's true.
And I will just come at it, and because I want to fight everybody. If you mess with my people, I will fight you.
Well, you know, a lot of times when people talk about relationships, they talk about things that aren't going well, signs that a relationship should end, whatever. We're not really talking about that. We're talking about a good relationship.
We're talking about good relationships.
Where somebody cares about you, not because they say they care about you, but because they show they care about you. You're in a positive relationship. So the thing is, how can you have it be more positive and less negative? So one of the things that is a good indicator is if you're having an argument, you know, there's the rules to play by. You don't say always. You don't say
never.
You know,
you don't, words.
And you don't externalize blame. You take responsibility for your own things. You also say I statements, all that stuff. But there comes a point where you go, I love this person and we're having an argument and this is going off the rails. Stopping is a really good choice because if you don't do anything else differently, at least you are stopping the bleeding.
Yes.
And with Jen in this particular case, she called me up and she had a problem. And, I was dog sitting so that she and her friend could go out of town. I went to her friend's house. I stayed up there a few days. I was watching her dogs. They're really big. I had a lot of big poops to pick up. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
But, so like I was like,
There's a metaphor there, I think.
I was hoping that they were going to have a really good time and come back and Jen would come back in a good mood. And the last thing that happens to her before she leaves the Bay Area is this terrible thing. And so I'm thinking about how this affects me. And the whole thing is it's like, okay, well, all the negative stuff is not like we're trying to minimize the negative stuff. So I don't have to have her worry about that. I have to just have her worry about let's focus on what's happening. And that was okay. If I couldn't have done that, I mean, sometimes a good thing to do is say, hey, I need a minute. Yeah. And I did have an argument with Jen, sometime probably shortly after that, after she came back. And I said, look, I don't know if you realize this, but you are digging a hole. So we should probably stop talking right now because it's only going to get worse. And she was really mad about it. And she wanted to talk about
Hash it out.
Not so much about because she wants to do it now, but she was kind of on a roll. And I'm like, this roll is not benefiting
headed
you.
in the wrong
It's not
kind of
for
direction.
anybody.
And the thing was, it wasn't like I was wonderful. I just realized that this was not productive. And that's the whole thing. It's like, how can I have things be more productive and less destructive?
Right.
What a great topic.
I think that's a really important thing right there, what you said. Like, you had this really great situation where you handled it very well, and then you go down the road and then, something happens. And relationships are hard. Relationships are not easy. And anybody that thinks that, they can look at certain things on social media, or they can look at people's lives and think, oh, they have it so perfect and they're so great. And the bottom line is nobody has a perfect, we're human, we're not perfect. So therefore our relationships are not perfect.
This is
wow,
this whole show is going to resonate a lot of feelings, I'm sure, for our audience and stuff. And just take the time and breathe through it. But just know that don't put any pressure on yourself. You just get to know yourself and to understand these things that we're talking about. It's a journey.
It is, and we need to give grace and understanding to each other,
and especially your partners.
And if someone says they need a minute, give them a minute.
Well, there's that too, and know that could be recognized on either side of the fence, and just start knowing yourself, and I think that's the key.
Thank you for listening to us. We're on KXRW. This is Amy and Renee and Steve today. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us.
We hope we leave you feeling better than when you sat down to listen. Until next time, keep moving and grooving with a smile, because we always feel better when we're dancing.
Dancing.
I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah.